Εντάξει, είμαστε στο Facebook τώρα, so θα αρχίσουμε. Thank you everybody for waiting. My name is Miltiadis Bakopoulos. I am the youth president of the Laconian Brotherhood, and I'm joined today with Alexandros Giannadakis and Andrew Christopoulos. Andrew is the vice president of the youth, and I'd like to just say a few words quickly about today's guest lecturer. So Alexandros, I have to acknowledge some bias. Alexandros was my teacher for many years. He taught me ancient Greek, and I encourage everybody who has the opportunity to study ancient Greek with him. It was one of the best experiences in my life, and I don't think that I've thought about the world the same way after learning ancient Greek with him. So I have a lot to thank him for. Alexandros graduated with a Bachelor of Arts with honours in ancient and modern Greek language and pedagogics from the University of Crete in 1983. From 1983 to 1995, he taught modern and ancient Greek in private schools throughout Greece. And from 1995 to 2003, he was a senior high school teacher in Greek government schools. In 2004, he was seconded to the education office of the Greek Consulate General in Melbourne. And this is where his story in Australia begins. Serving until 2009 at Balwyn High, and from 2004 to 2005 at VCAL, he has since taught Greek at many private institutions, including St. Albans Greek School and Doncaster Templestow School of the GOCMV. In 2012, he lectured at Monash University, and he taught at Ariston Private Greek School and became a casual teacher at the GOCMV of Ancient Greek. From 2013 till today, Alexandros has served as the GOCMV's coordinator of modern and ancient Greek studies. I'd like to just let everybody know that after Alexandros gives his lecture, there'll be some time at the end for questions to be asked. So if you have any questions from now, or if during the lecture you think of some questions, if you're in the Zoom chat, please type them in Zoom. If you're on Facebook Live, type them in the chat, and Andrew or myself will ask them, read them out, and Alexandros can answer them. So I'd like to thank Alexandros for joining us, and I'd like to invite him to start his lecture. Thank you, Alexandros.
Thank you, Mr. Diaz. Thank you, all the people who are attending this lecture. I have to say that I'm not a specialist in Tsakonic dialect, but anyway, as a philologist, I could approach resources and find information on the Tsakonic dialect, and okay, I can offer this research I have made. Okay, now let's start. Okay, I hope you can see the screen. The Tsakonian modern Greek dialect, as it which is called by the native speakers Agrusanamu, which means our language. This is the title the native speakers use. Tsakonian dialect is named by the linguist since the area in which it is spoken is called Tsakonia. I tried to find the etymology of the word Tsakonian. It's not the information I found is not so sure, but anyway, it's interesting that probably the term means people out of Laconia, because this Tsakonian area is actually in Arcadia. So Arcadia is out of Laconia and next to Laconia. This Tsakonian dialect, I call it dialect since, however, some people call it language. In my opinion, it's not a language, it's a dialect. Is a descendant of the Laconian Greek, a branch of the ancient Doric dialect spoken by the Greek tribe Dorians who came last to Greece around 1100 to 1000 BC. Now, this dialect is both highly divergent from other spoken varieties of modern Greek, and from a philological standpoint, linguistically classified separately from them. It's not easy for other modern Greek people to understand the Tsakonian dialect. Although they are able to understand some phrases which are common, they are not able to actually understand. It is spoken in the Tsakonian region of the Peloponnese, Greece. I'm going to show you which is this Tsakonian region. Here you can see the region in blue. You can see my mouse. This region, the blue region in this map, is the Tsakonian region. Yeah, and it is a descendant of the Doric dialect. Now, since I speak about Doric dialect, I have to tell you that Greek tribes came to Greece in several periods, and not all together. Linguists suppose that in an earlier stage, Greek people were united, and there was a language called Proto-Greek, but this is an assumption. And after some period of time, they divided in tribes. Anyway, we know that Greeks came separately in tribes in Greece, and each tribe had their own dialect. I will show you a map with the dialects of Greece. Here you can see with these colors are colored different regions of Greece who speak different dialects. As you see, the brown color indicates the Doric proper dialect. Sorry, wrong. The beige color indicates the Doric proper dialect. The brown color, the northwest Doric Greek. The yellow Aeolic Greek. The light green, you can see also in the Cyprus, it is light green, Arcado Cypriot dialect. The pink Attic dialect, and the gray, blue, sorry, it's blue, yeah, Ionic dialect. I will not examine the characteristic of the Doric dialect, but I will just say to you that Tsakonian language has, in Tsakonian language, those some characteristics have survived. Sorry, dialect, I want to say. Now, this dialect, Tsakonian, is spoken in Tsakonia, as the area is called. It is in the province of Kimuria, in the district of Arcadia, in the Peloponnese, which extends from Cape Leonidio in the south to Agios Andreas in the north. It occurs maybe in 9 villages of the above area: Leonidio, Paramatefti, Melana, Tsakonika, Tyros, and Prastos, Kastanitsa, Sitena, Agios Andreas in the north. It is divided into Northern Tsakonian subdialect, which has the greatest influence of the in the area. Southern Tsakonia, and also there is another subdialect which is called Propondis subdialect, because of the move to Propondis however, in 1922, after the Lausanne Treaty between the Turks, the Ottoman Turks and the Greeks, they moved to Greece, so this dialect didn't survive. Now, unfortunately, this dialect is endangered since they estimate that just 200 people speak this language now, although in the beginning of the 19th century, they were 8,000 people. According to some other information, the native, the speakers are 500, or other information says they were more, 1,000. In my opinion, I take as correct the 200 people because yeah, I think only old people speak that dialect, and these old people live by a little, are living this life. So the young people, unfortunately, do not speak this dialect. Although there are especially in Leonidio, some specific schools which teach the dialect, and last years there is a movement how to preserve the dialect. That's why an organization has been created called Tsakonian Archive, and people who work there try to take actions for the preservation of the dialect. Now, I told you before that this dialect is closely related to the Laconian dialect. Before, yes, and here there is a link if you want to see more characteristic of the Doric dialect. Yeah, okay. Anyway, you can see for some reason that you're not open, you not make my window bigger.
Θέλεις να ανοίξεις το link.
Yeah, to type it on the chat.
Ah.
Yeah, okay, good. Good. Here you can see if you like more characteristics of the Doric dialect. Unfortunately, it is in modern Greek, since I didn't find any good website on the web with such an information. But yeah, the main features of the Dorian dialect are described here. Now, I want to show you that in the beginning of the 19th century, the speakers of this area were 8,000, and you can see another map in this extended area. I will make it here you see, as you see, the area it starts from Arcadia but ends in near Sparta, in Laconia. So the area was much bigger in the beginning of the 20th century. this area. That's why yeah, they speak about the time about 8,000 speakers. Now, I will try to explain to you the sound, the specific sounds of this dialect. The alpha can appear, and this is a Doric element, instead of eta. And modern Greek, continue to have this eta, and the sound is e. This you see is the phonetic symbol. The eta phonetically is e, according to the International Phonetic Alphabet. So see that the word imera is amera. The imera, the eta, is long vowel, and the amera, the alpha, is again long vowel. The second alpha remains alpha because it's not long alpha. Okay, see another word for soldier. Stratiotis, this is the modern Greek, but in Tsakonian is stratiota. So again, you see that this eta is kept as alpha. The epsilon before vowels, the eta before vowels instead of epsilon in Attic in Common Greek. Yeah, in Common Greek. So you see, for the king, the word is Vasilia instead of Basilea. The Omicron occasionally is pronounced U. See the snake in the Tsakonic dialect is Ophis instead of the Common Greek office. The word for mouth in modern Greek is stoma, but in Tsakonian is thuma. The final omicron O sound after maybe before before vowels. Or ro. Again is pronounced u, but it also another change happens. The iota goes before this u. So in the word heroes, which means pig, pig. In Tsakonian is hure. Now, also the omicron, the last omicron of the word becomes epsilon. See another example for that. The word graftos, which means written, in Tsakonian is grafte. Again, the final omicron of the word. It's epsilon in Tsakonian. The word χρέος, which means duty, no, or maybe, yeah, χρέος, thing you due to do. Or, yeah, it could be also mean debt. So see the Tsakonian χρείε. In the word δρόμος, only the final sigma is dropped, and the omicron does not change in epsilon, δρόμο. The epsilon, pronounced in modern Greek e, in Doric was u. In Tsakonian is u. So see the word for figs, suka. See also the word for bread, which is ultima, artuma in Tsakonian. See the word for wolf in modern Greek likos, in Tsakonian liuko. The omega, again, it sounds like u. This is although I got the meaning of murgia. Murgia is a tree, which means it's mulberry tree. Mulberry tree. Murgia is in modern Greek, but in Tsakonian muria with ita. Okay, these are the main differences in vowels. In consonants now, some words preserve a pre-classical Greek v sound, which is indicated with a W, called digama. Yes, sometimes v, sometimes f sound, but mainly v sound. See, for example, the word for sheep is vanne. So this v sound is the ancient Greek digama, an obsolete letter during the classical Greek period. Corresponding to the ancient vamnos, which means sheep. Now, see that the kappa it could be z or ts. For example, the word kefali, which means head, in Tsakonian is tsufa. A participle agizon, which means touching, it is pronounced anzichu. Another word for is pigadi, and in Tsakonian is kigadi. Tiros, which means cheese, in Tsakonian is kure. The word for nothing is tipota in modern Greek, in common Greek, but in Tsakonian tsipta. A proper name, Michalis, it's Michaili. Them sounds like again, Michaili. Another participle, anigon, which means opening, in Tsakonian is aningu. Another participle, liazon, which means being under the sun. In Tsakonian is liazu. The word liaki, which means flow. Hold on. I have to be sure. Flow. No, I made a mistake. It's stream or creek. Creek or stream is zadzi. Zadzi. Okay. In southern Tsakonian, for example, the word logos, which means word in common Greek, it is pronounced without the final sigma, logo, or ovo without the lambda. See again another participle, luzon, which means I wash my washing the hair. In Tsakonian is lukhu, or without the lambda, ukhu. The theta sometimes becomes yeah, like S sound. For example, the ancient word thigatir has survived in Tsakonian as sati. Theon, killing, meaning killing, in Tsakonian theou. Now, the final sigma sometimes becomes a rho. For example, the word tinos, which means whose, becomes tsuner. The initial rho becomes sigma, and the combination of sigma and he. So Raphon Schafu. Common verbs in zo change the zeta to d. For example, the verb fonazo is foniandu. Another characteristic is that the delta rho or the combination of delta rho or theta rho or tau rho becomes becomes in Tsakonian tau sigma he. For example, Dryas, which means octris, schua. Anthropos, man, atschopo. Tragos, which means male. Hold on, I forgot also this. Male goat. Tragos, male goat. Becomes tchao. So you see the tau rho change to tau sigma he. Also, the sound, the combination of the consonants sigma p, sigma tau, sigma theta, sigma kappa, sigma he, actually lose the sigmas, the S sound, and they change the smooth vowels P, tau to F, S, like phi and theta, and the theta remains. The theta remains, and the kappa and he become he actually. For example, see, for example, the word for istos, which means must, it is itfe. See the word askos, which means vessel. Osak, yeah, Osak. Okay. Yeah, sack. Or pouch, yeah, you can say pouch. It's a crop. Again, you see that the sigma has been dropped. The kappa became kappa he. Next, the combination of the consonants m, phi, n, mi, theta, and gamma he change. For example, the mi phi become p phi in the word omphalos, the common Greek omphalos. You see that Tsakonian say apphale. Core means or novel omphalos. You see another example, a ring horse, and the ring horse is a lot of unknown words. A ring horse is snout, S-N-O-U-T. In Tsakonian is pronounced Schuko. Now, the sound x changes in Tsakonian to ts, tough, sigma. For example, the word xeros, which means dry, becomes tsere. The kappa, the sound of the combination of the consonants kappa taf and he theta just become an aspirated taf or theta, close to theta. See the word finger, vachtilo, in Tsakonian becomes vatfile. See verb form of the verb δέχομαι, I accept, or I receive, δεχθώ, δεχθού. And the lambda after the L sound, L sound after consonants often goes to R. For example, plati, which means wide, in Tsakonian is pratiu. For kleftis, which means thick, in Tsakonian is krefta. For glossa, which means language, in Tsakonian is glusa. And for pears, the fruit pears, achlaves, achlai. The combination of the consonants ro, pi, ro, taf, ro, kappa, and ro, delta become correspondingly mbu, the ro, pi becomes mb, the ro, taf, nd, the ro, kappa, ng, and the ro, delta, nd. For example, scorpios, which is scorpios, actually, which is it's scorpion. Okay, it's scorpion. This in Tsakonian becomes hobio. The word for bread, artos, becomes ande. And the word for fat, for V, this is said funda. So, for example, if you compare the last word for V and funda, you can see that the P became fu, the omicron, as we said previously, becomes U, and the delta becomes D. And actually ND, punda, punda, because it is pronounced like ND, punda. Okay, the sounds Z and V are added between vowels. For example, Mia, which means fly, in Tsakonian is musa. Kianos, which means blue, the word is, for kianos, the word is kuvane. And the gamma and the delta often drop out between vowels. For example, porvas, which means feet, pura in Tsakonian. Tragos, which means male goat, tsao. Now here you can, if you can see an original song, a Tsakonian song. Yeah, it's interesting that modern people could not understand actually. Apart from some words, πουλάτζι αίμα έχα το κλειδί, σε μερουτένει αίμα έχα. Which means, πουλάκι είχα στο κλειδί και μερωμένο το είχα. You can, if you compare the words, you can see differences that exist. Which means I had a bird in the cage and I kept it happy. I will actually copy it and send it on the chat so you can see it. Unfortunately, it's not very bigger. Any help?
Θέλεις να το κάνεις copy.
Yeah, but I cannot find the chat.
Oh.
Because, no, I can't.
Α, το βρήκες.
Yeah.
Εντάξει.
Chat. Okay. Yeah. Why? I cannot copy all. I cannot copy the full, yeah?
Άμα το αφήσεις, μετά θα το κάνουμε copy και θα το βάλουμε μέσα στο
Okay.
file.
Okay.
Ολόκληρο μπορούμε να το
another interesting feature is that Tsakonian avoids consonant clusters and drops final sigma and n. As a result, syllable structure tends more to a peculiar, let's say, peculiar language than in Standard Modern Greek. For example, see a word for an ancient Greek word avros, which means hard, becomes in Tsakonian atsche, totally different. Now, another interesting feature is that the present and the imperfect of the verbs in Tsakonian are formed with participle, with participles. For example, like in English, I don't think it's correct with ing forms, but anyway, I don't think it's like in English. It's I would say periphrastic tenses. For example, see that you see that in ancient Greek, but because in modern Greek we don't use this form anymore. In ancient Greek, you could form the present tense of a verb by using the present of the verb to be and the participle of that verb. For example, I speak. This lalo means I speak. In me alone, which could be translated I am speaking, but it would, in Greek it could be also I speak. It is formed periphrastically by using the verb to be and the participle alone. Likewise, Tsakonian do the same. For example, I speak is eni au, and I was speaking emau. It's interesting also the verb to be here. Eni is I am, esi is you are, eni is he, she, em is we are, et which et you are, and ini they are. Am I was, as you were, he, she was, am I we were, and et you were, and ingia they were. Feriku, you can see another verb, the verb to bring. Feriku, male say feriku, but female say ferika. Ferikis is common for the two genders. Feriki, common, he, she, the three genders actually also in neuter. Ferikunde we bring, ferikute you bring, and ferikusi they bring. These are the more, and some examples. Yeah, these are the most basic, the most main, the main characteristics of the Tsakonian dialect. Many of those features can be observed in Doric Greek. That's why we say it is Doric Greek descendant. And this Doric base of the language is due to the isolation of the area. This area is a mountainous area. The users of this language mainly farmers and shepherds. Move to other places. Also, the mountainous area made them resulted to concept. Okay, I think see some phrases. For example, πού είναι το δωμάτιό μου, το δωμάτιό μου, and Tsakonika. Ποια είναι η φροντανή? Here you see the Latin script, and you are Kostakis notation means but someone called Kostakis has pronounced these phrases and has created an archive of those. Where is the beach? Modern πού είναι η παραλία? And Tsakonian just for the other then. For παραλία. Yeah. Ποια είναι το περιγιάλι? And then you see another phrase, where is the bar? Ποια είναι το bar? Of course, bar is not the same. Don't touch me there. Μη μαγίζεις εκείνη μόλι. Μη μαντζίντζε. Okay, here you can see I will share. Okay. You can listen to a speaker of this dialect. Okay. I will stop sharing this and I am going to share another screen. Okay. Okay. You can see this.
Έχει ένα χωριάτα που παλίτσερι σε κυσέου να ζάει από τα 9 χώρα τα νάβα.
You can see the Tsakonian phrase, the modified phrase, and the English translation.
Τα νάβα χωράει και παντρευτά σάφηση. Σε κυσέου να ζάει να νιωράει.
Here is the Tsakonian phrase, modified phrase, and the English translation.
Έχει χειμωνικό. Εφήξα από τα χώρα σου με το πουε. Είναι αυτό εκεί που υπάρχει το Σαμερινέ από κίνητε, έτε του τερί. Εφήξα αλλά εκαγιούτσε. Ζάζει περάτη τάσο κουσίνο, από πορεία που ίδια η καλή.
The phrase in Tsakonian, the phrase in modified, and the translation. Of course, linguistically, you can see that it's Greek. It's Greek dialect. But yeah, because it's the words are different, and yeah, the phrases are not understandable.
Εκαγιούτσε. Έτσι στάει κατσαβάρα. Και ότι εγώ έχασα τον προσανατολισμό και ότι εγώ όχι ξέρω και αναζάει.
For example, of all the Greeks would understand, if they don't know, they will not understand the other way.
Ήταν τα νούρα, ανεμού τις κουτές εσύ, ένα λιούκο. Εφοζάτσε ο χωριάτα, επέτσε άδερκα μη φάει. Επέτσε ο λιούκο, μη χωζήσει. Είναι κολέγα, σε στέου, κι ας εμπόρυγε.
Again, you will see the Tsakonian phrase, then the modified phrase, and then the English translation.
Ισέου να ζάω τα τάδε χώρα. Eso compartía agua poría. Una poría era ni que sea una orpa que sea una zare. Ya έτσι να πει. Η πέτσε εκεί, να ζάμε τα τζέμι, θα ραμάρει όρπα και τα σύντακα που θα ξενερούει αγωθιόταν αμέρα, θα τη δενάτη τα πορεία για να ζάρει όρπα πιστεύω.
Okay, I think I will stop here. Yeah. Conclusion. It's astonishing that this dialect with Doric roots was preserved, and but now it's really worried that is going to be lost. Since young people do not, a few young people try to learn it and continue it, but most of the people follow both the Greek and yeah, they don't try to learn. That's why it is considered an endangered dialect. Thank you for listening to me. I am waiting for your questions.
Well, ευχαριστώ, Αλέξανδρε, υπέρ. Άμα ήθελες να κλείσεις το screen share, άμα μπορεί, εντάξει, ευχαριστώ.
Yeah.
So we'll open up the questions now. So if anybody has any questions in the Zoom, just type them into the chat. And if anybody has any questions on Facebook Live, just type those questions onto the comments there and we'll read them out. So, πρώτα απ' όλα έχω εγώ ερώτηση, Αλέξανδρε. Άμα κάποιος έχει ενδιαφέρον για τα Τσακώνικα or the Doric διάλεκτο, is there any information or αυτά που βρήκες εσύ in making this lecture? Can you help people if they want information on Tsakonika?
Yeah, there is this is the previous. Okay, there is a now. Hold on. Yeah, there is a website where you can find the Tsakonian bibliography. I'm going to send you this link.
Άμα έχεις τη βιβλιογραφία ή κάτι έτσι, μπορείς να στείλεις το Word document μετά και μπορούμε να το αναφέρουμε μες στο Facebook.
Well, yeah, but
Ή άμα μπορείς εδώ, screen share ή κάτι έτσι.
Screen share, yeah, I can share it. Okay. Yeah, here this website has a lot of Tsakonian bibliography. Okay, it incorporates earlier bibliographies by Katsanis, Vagenas, and again Vagenas. You can see websites, papers, of course, not only in modern Greek, but also in English. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Πολύ ωραίο.
Yeah. A lot of sources.
Okay, yeah. So for people who thought that Tsakonika was obscure or there weren't many references, this is a whole database. So there's a lot of information for people to read about.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah. And also there is there is dictionary,
Mm.
Tsakonian English dictionary, the dictionary, and also a dictionary Tsakonian to modern Greek.
Okay. Mm.
Yeah, I can type both of them.
Mm.
This is the.
Ναι, στο chat. Ναι, μπορεί στο chat. Ή...
Yeah, my problem is that. Okay, no, excellent. This is the English Tsakonian or Tsakonian into English.
Ναι.
Okay, so yeah. Where is the chat again?
Και μετά από αυτό, όταν είναι στο chat, θα τον μεταφέρω στο Facebook. So,
Okay,
καλύτερα
yeah,
να βγει στο screen share. Ναι, ναι.
Yeah, I have to go out of the, that's right.
Να το βάλω
And
στο
then
chat.
another one, yeah, this is the English Tsakonian, and the Tsakonian modern Greek is the following.
Okay.
Okay, this, I'm going to, yeah. Okay, this is. Okay, the second one is from Tsakonian into modern Greek.
Ναι. Okay, είναι εκεί. Θα το βάλω στο Facebook. Και έχουμε μερικές ερωτήσεις στο chat. Το πρώτο είναι, since your ancestry is from Crete, has the Doric dialect survived in the modern Cretan dialect?
Well, some remnants, I would say, of the Doric dialect probably exist, but actually the Cretan dialect derives from Common Greek, which was dominant in Crete during the Hellenistic period. I mean, Doric Greek ceased to be not dominant in the Hellenistic period. I mean, after Alexander the Great, and Common Greek became the dominant language there, dialect there. So
Common Greek, when it took
Tokoni, exactly.
Tokoni, yeah.
So yeah, this dialect in Crete of today derives from Koine Greek.
Oh, okay.
But some elements, of course, you know. Now I remember, this is Doric. In the past tense, in many verbs, is instead of sigma has xi.
Okay.
This is Doric.
This is Doric.
Yeah, this is Doric.
Okay. Yeah, και νόμιζα ότι η Κρήτη θα είχε remnants από τη Δωρική, because a lot of it was Doric. Δεν ήταν από το from the Colonies. Ναι, ναι.
Of course, it was a Doric area anyway, but you know, Greek Crete, although an island, was not isolated so easily. For example, a lot of people traveled to Crete, remain there from after the death of Alexander the Great. The successors had power there, so little by little the Doric dialect ceased to be used and Koine Greek started to be used.
Ναι. Μια άλλη ερώτηση εδώ από τον Δημήτρη και ρωτάει, is it true that Muslim Tsakonian speakers were moved to Anatolia during the 22-23 the population exchange?
Yeah, yes, of course, because of the interchange of the exchange of the population. This was a term, a condition of the Treaty of Lausanne, and Muslims had to move to Turkey, and Greeks from Turkey had to move to Greece.
Yeah. Και νόμιζα. Και βεβαίως από την Κρήτη το ίδιο πράγμα έγινε. You know, there were Cretan speakers.
All over the Greece this happened.
Ναι. All right. Νομίζω αυτές ήταν τις ερωτήσεις. So, ευχαριστώ πάρα πολύ, κύριε Αλέξανδρε. You'll always be κύριε Αλέξανδρε, όχι Αλέξανδρε. You'll always be κύριε Αλέξανδρε. After years of class, I can't shake the habit. So thank you for giving us this lecture. It means a lot because obviously as the Laconians, we want to promote Tsakonika as well a bit, even though they were not just from Laconia, from Arcadia and Argolida. So thank you.
In the first period, as I told you, in the first period, included part of Laconia.
Ναι. Γι' αυτό να υποστηρίξουμε, I think, εμείς τα Laconians a little bit, so that's our agenda. Ευχαριστώ, and Andrew, how about we bring this to an end?